Yeah.
Biggest takeaway?
Just continuing to stack days. That's what we've been talking about. A lot of intention offensively today. Just trying to make sure everyone feels comfortable with their purpose in terms of running in transition and then establishing our initial spacing. Because if we can do that consistently, then we can truly flow and take care of what we want to take care of and get to what we want to get to. So.
What are some of the things you want to work on in the game?
Yeah, so still tomorrow, second opportunity for us to play a game against somebody else, finding that balance of continuing to build the chemistry with, some of the those 8 that we know are going to be on our roster, while still providing other people opportunities to scratch and claw and make this final roster. So lots of different things, combinations, giving people enough minutes to still get the rust off. So that's all going into the substitution patterns and however many minutes we end up playing.
Defensively, Paige has talked a lot about screen navigation as one of the biggest differences. It seems you guys really focused on that towards the end. How's that progressing, not just for Paige, but for all of your players?
Yeah, just challenging them, right? They had their first taste against Vegas, just how much quicker and how much more physical this league is. So it takes a certain effort of desire. Technical skills, yes, but a lot of that you can overcome just with a fight. And so just teaching them to be able to have that fight. And also, as they're in our system more and they learn and things start to slow down and they can identify what's about to happen, now they're in a better position to be able to navigate it. That game out there, everyone was flying at the seat of their pants. No one knew what was happening, so you're going to get hit even harder in those instances.
How is it to be back working with Miller? And then what are some of the implementations y'all have been working on this preseason?
One more time, the second one?
What are some of the implementations y'all have been working on in the preseason?
Yeah, it's fantastic being back with Kurt. He's been a tremendous mentor for me, and to have that support system there, someone who's lived this and breathed this, that I can always just ask him questions, and he's been fantastic, not overstepping and giving me space, but also being there as a resource. And then as far as the implementation goes, everything that I've learned from Kurt, from my time with other coaches, and then just being around the game and thinking about how I want to play and what I want it to look like. But ultimately, once we got our roster, making sure that it fit our roster, right? Because you can have the best made out plans, but if it doesn't fit the personnel, it doesn't matter. So you got to be able to put your players in positions to be successful. So I'm learning early that you have to have flexibility. I came in wanting it to look one way, and you learn that it could change daily, and you got to be able to adjust and figure it out.
You just talked about the players. Obviously, a new system, a lot of new players. How have those players adapted to finding their role on the team?
Yeah, they've been great. The chemistry, the connectivity is building day in and day out. The conversations on the sideline and the baseline continue to get better and of more substance, to where now, we're talking more X's and O's, and hey, you like this, or you're going to be there, or you can feel that more and more. So that's encouraging as a coach to see that.
And how is it in preseason, with the freedom that you're giving players to also make mistakes, since it's preseason, learn things, but also you want to implement your structure as well? Yeah,
we talk a lot about everything's a balance with us. So giving them autonomy and then talking about accountability as well. And my message continues to be, I'm waiting to see who on this team is going to be a bad cop and who's going to lead us and who has the courage to step up in a tough moment and be able to hold someone accountable. And that's got to come from us right now. But ultimately, we won't get to where we want to get to until they can feel comfortable enough to be able to do that amongst one another.
Speaking of accountability, what's the matchup that gets the gym buzzing?
The matchup that gets the gym buzzing?
Yeah, like say if the two players are going back and forth with each other.
Kyla Charles has just been so impressive with her effort day in and day out. So she has not backed down from anybody and just has been able to raise that level of whatever team that she's on with her physicality. So, challenging her to guard Paige, guard on the ball, but then also guard Enrique. She's been guarding everybody, and I've loved her energy and effort.
And just going back to that, when you said that you're looking for a back cop to hold players accountable, is that more of it's just a lot of new players together, or is it more of a lot of voices and you're just leaning on one or two captains of the team?
So it's my message has been to lead from where you are, right? Everyone has their own leadership style, and so And again, everything is new, right? So having patience still that, they're all figuring each other out. These are all brand new relationships. So they're building these relationships. They're gaining trust. I just want to keep it on our minds that, there's going to be tough moments to where we need to have some tough conversations that may feel uncomfortable. But if we've developed that trust and that respect, we'll know that ultimately it's because we want to get somewhere bigger than us.
What are some characteristics about the Antelopes that people who may have never watched them play should know before the game starts?
Yeah, I mean, they're fast and they fly around and they shoot the ball. So it should be a fun brand.
What stood out to you this week from a team preparation and development heading into this game?
One more time, I missed the beginning, sorry.
From what stood out to you this week from a team preparation and development?
Yeah.
Heading into this game?
I'm encouraged by our focus. Training camp is hard. Outside of on the floor, there's so much being asked of them, right? They just showed up. There's all sorts of things that need to be done on the business side, organizationally. So there's so much being thrown at them. And I'm really encouraged by our ability to handle all that and then still step here in between the lines and have a focus to be able to be extremely productive and efficient with our time together on the court.
Maddy, what's the energy been like on this roster compared to others you've been with?
Yeah, just really exciting. I think we got kind of a young group, so everybody's just full of life, super excited. A lot of new pieces together, so just building the chemistry. It's really what the biggest focus the last few weeks.
Are you feeling like you're now the second most famous alum from Villanova after the Pope?
I am. I mean, that was crazy. We got out of practice yesterday, and I had 100 all these texts and missed calls. I'm like, something happened, and then I saw who the calls were from, and I'm like, it's the president, all our people at Villanova. I'm like, what's going on here? So super exciting. Obviously, paying attention to the conclave, but super excited Villanova alum in the Vatican.
What's one thing that this team does well that most people don't expect?
I think we compete. And we're really versatile. So I think when you put those pieces together, you get, you're gonna get some good results.
How are you feeling that if you're carving out your role in this new look offense, are you getting comfortable? What do you think is the most important thing you can bring?
Yeah, just extra possessions. I feel like that's something I hung my hat on. Is just running the floor every single play and trying to get some baskets that way, and then offensive rebounds. But obviously, been working on my 3-point shooting a ton. Just trying to bring that. Not only be a threat, but consistently be able to knock people down every night.
What's been the overall message or focus of today's practice?
A little bit of everything. Yesterday we did a big offense practice, so obviously today was a big defensive practice, and just when things, not the first action, but the third action you're defending, making sure we're still communicating through that.
And how's it feel when the league is having partnerships or having a preseason game with professional teams in Japan?
It's so exciting. I mean, we've had Mai here told us a little bit about her experience over there, so it's just great. I think the more eyes, the better.
You're still a fairly young player in the league, but you're a veteran when it comes to being a part of this team.
Yeah.
How have you taken a different leadership role making this year?
Yeah, I feel like, I'm a little on the quieter side to try to lead by example, but definitely using my voice and just trying to be a calming presence, and especially things get crazy during a game, they might not go your way. I don't usually react too bad to the referees or anything, so trying to bring everybody together that way. Thanks.
How are you doing? All right, you guys are going to get to play in front of the home crowd. It's your first time playing in front of this crowd. How are you feeling ahead of tomorrow night?
I'm excited just to see new faces, new arena, new environment. So it's going to be super fun. I can't wait to see everybody.
Who do you feel like is the one person that's been pushing you in practice the most?
I'd probably say NaLyssa. Usually you bond more with people that are in your position. You ask more questions. You're around them more. So I definitely say NaLyssa.
What's some of the things that you've learned from NaLyssa? Some of the tips that she's given?
Just her passing ability. She sees the floor well. She's very patient when she plays. So just, taking that into consideration, slowing down a little bit. So I'd say that's the biggest thing I'll pull from her.
You guys are ending week 2 now, almost at training camp. So many new faces. How do you feel that the progression is coming along as a unit?
I think it's been great. We're finally getting to settle in with the group that we have. People are starting to learn each other a lot more, learning where people's shot selection comes from. So I think we're kind of putting those pieces together finally.
Especially on the defensive end, that could be the hardest place to build that kind of chemistry. It looks like you guys spent a lot of time on that today. How's the defense coming along?
Oh yeah, it's definitely coming along. I feel like we're kind of, pulling each other like a string now. When somebody helps, we know we gotta have their back. Like it's just all coming together. I feel like.
Talk a little bit about the basketball side. Just how have you settled in the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex personally?
I think it's been great. It's been a lot of people that's just welcomed me and invited me places, and just it's a lot of like welcoming people here in Dallas. So I think it's been good for me.
What's your favorite part about being in the gym with so much talent?
I mean, you can't go wrong. Everybody can hit an open shot. Everybody, brings such, upside to their game. So we're all pushing each other. We all want to win. So when you're around 5, 10, 12 people that want to win, you just keep pushing each other. Thank you.